Hello, my platoon. This is your captain speaking, Captain Duncan, and welcome to Dagon. I don't know anything about this, but let's begin. This is your captain speaking, Captain Duncan. Dagon's a faithful interactive adaptation of H.P. Lovecraft's work, focused on story and atmosphere. You will not find difficult choices, action sequence, or inventory management here. The movement is limited to progressing through locations along with the plot. Okay, so,
I am writing this under an appreciable mental strain, since by tonight I shall be no more.
God, my ears! Okay, during the game you will encounter interactive elements. Some of them will allow you to continue your journey, others reveal interesting facts about the original story, its historical background, and the author. Some of the trivia is hidden. In order to find the secrets, focus your eyes and look for the Elder Sign. Okay. Oh.
Penniless, and at the end of my supply of the drug which alone makes life endurable, I can bear the torture no longer, and shall cast myself from this garret window into the squalid street below.
No, dude, don't do that. Life is beautiful. You just don't see it very well. What is that? Oh, that's
Do
the
not
sign.
think from my slavery to morphine that I am a weakling or a degenerate.
No, I don't think you are. Probably, if we are the H.P. Lovecraft side of things, well, a lot of veterans during the wars, world wars, became addicted to morphine because, you know, we were shoving that thing around like it was water.
When you...
Oh no. What is this? Morphine. Morphine entered into use in the 19th century and was routinely administered to treat severe pain during the American Civil War, the World War I, and it was also sold without restrictions until 1940. Wow, I didn't know about that. Morphine became more popular after the invention of the hypodermic syringe around 1854. Frederick Serturner, who first isolated the substance, originally named morphium after Morpheus, the Greek god associated with dreams. At the time when the Dagon was published, morphine abuse, known as soldier's disease, already posed a big problem in the United States. Yeah, I told you, but yeah, no, yeah, World War I. Okay, yeah, cool. You can read the discovered trivia immediately or go back to them later in the main menu. Turn off display trivia if you find... No, I want to hear about the trivia.
It was in one of the most open and least frequented parts of the broad Pacific that the packet of which I was supercargo fell a victim to the German sea raider.
Oh no, it's World War I! Can I see other stuff? Nope. It's only the Sea Raider. Jesus! They're fighting! They're shooting me! Mayday! Mayday!
The Great War was then at its very beginning, and the ocean forces of the Hun had not completely sunk to their later degradation.
Oh, so we are after World War I, so we are not an American revolutionary. That's cool, that's cool. Look at the flag, look at the German flag. That's German, right? Yeah, that's German. Where do I need to look?
So that our vessel was made a legitimate prize, whilst we of her crew were treated with all the fairness and consideration due us as naval prisoners.
Ah, so okay, we were tortured. Ah, the Huns. The Huns were Central Asian nomads who established a dominion in Europe and invaded the Roman Empire in the 5th century. They were known as brutal, deadly warriors and masters of quick raids who also developed powerful composite bows, lassos, and early siege weapons. During World War I, the British used the word Hun as a synonym for Germans in order to emphasize their brutality. However, the term originated when the German Emperor Wilhelm II gave a speech to his troops on the 27th of July 1900 before they embarked to China. Should you encounter the enemy, he will be defeated. No quarter will be given. Prisoners will not be taken. Whoever falls into your hands is forfeit. Just as 1,000 years ago, the Huns under their King Attila made a name for themselves, one that even today makes them then seem mighty in history and legend. May the name German be affirmed by you in such a way in China that no Chinese will ever again dare to look cross-eyed at a German. The refusal to take prisoners was a clear breach of the laws and customs of war adopted during the First Hague Convention on 1899. Yeah, fuck off, Wilhelm II. You're an asshole, dude.
So liberal, indeed, was the discipline of our captors, that 5 days after we were taken, I managed to escape alone in a small boat with water and provisions for a good length of time.
Wow, this guy's good. Can I read anymore? I like to read. Okay, let's just keep going.
When I finally found myself adrift and free, I had but little idea of my surroundings.
Ah, yes, the beautiful ocean.
Never a competent navigator, I could only guess vaguely by the sun and stars that I was somewhat south of the equator.
Come on, dude. Come on. We all know that the sun rises in the east and goes out in the west. You know how to travel like a bit. Oh, come on, dude. You're not a navigator. Come on.
Of the longitude, I knew nothing, and no island or coastline was in sight.
The desperation. Great. We're going to play raft again? Oh, no. The sun. No, I want to read. There's nothing to read. Okay, the sun. I'm going to the sun.
The weather kept fair, and for uncounted days I drifted aimlessly beneath the scorching sun, waiting either for some passing ship or to be cast on the shores of some habitable land.
Imagine if it falls on that, you know that island that there's no contact with the outside world. Yeah, I don't like that word. I need to click what? Something? Hello? No, continue. What, my water canteen? Okay, let me drink.
But neither ship nor land appeared, and I began to despair in my solitude upon the heaving vastness of unbroken blue.
Yeah, I think that the worst part is being alone, because if you're with somebody else, you both can, suffer in conjunction together and ever.
The change happened whilst I slept. Its details I shall never know,
What change?
for my slumber, though troubled and dream-infested, was continuous.
What are you talking about, dude? What the frick is that? Okay, I need to turn off my lights so I can see it better. Alexa, desligar todas as luzes. Yeah, I just told my Alexa to turn off all the lights in my beautiful language, the Portuguese. Jesus Christ.
When at last I awoke, it was to discover myself half sucked into a slimy expanse of hellish black mire, which extended about me in monotonous undulations as far as I could see.
Why is it always like black liquor? They're just made of oil, ain't they? Oh, don't tell the Americans they're going to invade you, my squid sheep, my squiggly friend.
And in which my boat lay grounded some distance away. Though one might well imagine that my first sensation would be of wonder at so prodigious and unexpected a transformation of scenery, I was in reality more horrified than astonished.
Oh yeah, I can see Hemerus Mora is right here in front of me. Jesus. Fusoda, where's Mirek?
For there was in the air, and in the rotting soil, a sinister quality which chilled me to the very core.
What? Well, yeah, there are a bunch of things. It's not dead. Look, it's alive there, it's alive there, it's alive there. I think that one is dead, but that one is also dead to my left, and this you are also dead. But there's like 3 living things here. 4, there's a tiny one there, and the 5th one here. Look, there's a lot of living things.
The region was putrid with the carcasses of decaying fish, and of other, less describable things which I saw protruding from the nasty mud of the unending plain.
6, 7 things. Yeah, It's alright, we are fine.
Perhaps I should not hope to convey in mere words the unutterable hideousness that can dwell in absolute silence and barren immensity.
At least you have some friends now.
There was nothing within hearing, and nothing in sight save a vast reach of black slime. Yet the very completeness of the stillness and the homogeneity of the landscape oppressed me with a nauseating fear.
Look, eight things alive.
The sun was blazing down from a sky which seemed to me almost black in its cloudless cruelty, as though reflecting the inky marsh beneath my feet.
Yummy. Yummy, yummy. Oh, look at my boat. Look at this beautiful thing. Look at these tentacles. Hi there. Another squid, another one. Let me see my ship. Ugh. Don't like that sound. Don't enjoy
As I crawled into the stranded boat, I realized that only one theory could explain my position.
What theory? We are in a whale, a giant whale. Oh, there's a fish here. Look, we have food, my friend.
Through some unprecedented volcanic upheaval, a portion of the ocean floor must have been thrown to the surface, exposing regions for which innumerable millions of years had lain hidden under unfathomable watery depths.
What the frick is that giant thing breathing? Ugh.
So great was the extent of the new land which had risen beneath me that I could not detect the faintest noise of the surging ocean, straining my ears as I might.
Wow.
Nor were there any seafowl to prey upon the dead things.
That's kind of awesome. What can I... Oh, the fish. What the heck? I want to know what is that thing. That thing is creepy. I want to eat the fish.
For several hours I sat thinking or brooding in the boat, which lay upon its side and afforded a slight shade as the sun moved across the heavens.
It's getting closer, right?
As the day progressed, the ground lost some of its stickiness and seemed likely to dry sufficiently for traveling purposes in a short time.
Oh, that's awesome.
That night I slept but little, and the next day I made for myself a pack containing food and water, preparatory to an overland journey in search of the vanished sea and possible rescue.
Well, I can see why you would do that, because if that happened... Oh no, my friend fish! Where do I need to go? Where to go? Where to go? I'll go.
On the third morning, I found the soil dry enough to walk upon with ease.
That's one of the cables, you know, the transmission cables. I'm right, the transmission cables.
The odor of the fish was maddening, but I was too much concerned with graver things to mind so slight an evil, and set out boldly for an unknown goal.
That's one of the transmission things. Oh, look. I just cut some poor old country with...
All day I forged steadily westward, guided by a faraway hummock which rose higher than any other elevation on the rolling desert.
That's a statue? No, that's a giant lobster. That's also a giant lobster. And that's something from Starship Troopers. Okay, I see then. I'm not going to dwell on this very much. Bye! Ugh. Can I eat that? Whale! Hi there, friend! Oh, you got caught in here. Oh, poor thing. Can I eat you? I'm kind of hungry, if you know what I mean. I can also eat those giant crabs.
That night, I encamped, and on the following day still travelled toward the hummock, though that object seemed scarcely nearer than when I had first espied it.
I would never sleep in this place because of this giant, like, eel snake thingamabob. I would never. Never in a million years, for the love of God. Darkness.
By the fourth evening, I attained the base of the mound, which turned out to be much higher than it had appeared from a distance.
Who would have thunk?
An intervening valley setting it out in sharper relief from the general surface.
Ooh, fancy words for a fancy man.
Too weary to ascend, I slept in the shadow of the hill.
I don't like this place. It looks like a dead place.
I know not why my dreams were so wild that night. But ere the waning and fantastically gibbous moon had risen far above the eastern plain, I was awake in a cold perspiration, determined to sleep no more.
Look at the moon. What is going on? Why I'm not seeing anything alive here.
Such visions as I had experienced were too much for me to endure again.
What did you see?
And in the glow of the moon I saw how unwise I had been to travel by day.
What do you mean?
Without the glare of the parching sun, my journey would have cost me less energy.
But it's safer to move in the sun.
Indeed, I now felt quite able to perform the ascent which had deterred me at sunset. Picking up my pack, I started for the crest of the eminence.
I don't like where this is going. Where do I go? Where do I go? Go. Oh. The loner. Contrary to popular opinion, Lovecraft was not an ever-frowning, eccentric, grumpy loner. He considered himself to be a person who appreciated humor. Moreover, he would often meet with friends in his apartment or at various cafes in Brooklyn and Manhattan. At times, his social life was so intensive, his work would suffer for months. There was a point where he finally decided he needed to put an end to daily meetings and loitering in New York cafeterias and resorted to hiding at home and reading with the main room light turned off, pretending he wasn't there whenever a friend knocked on his door. He also had another method of deterring his guests, which involved greeting them in a bathrobe, with an unmade bed visible in the background and piles of papers scattered across the floor. God, he was a loser. Please, everybody, search it up. Search up Lovecraft's cat's name, and don't comment, please.
I have said that the unbroken monotony of the rolling plain was a source of vague horror to me.
Ooh.
But I think my horror was greater when I gained the summit of the mound and looked down the other side into an immeasurable pit or canyon,
Okay, it's a giant hole.
whose black recesses the moon had not yet soared high enough to illumine.
I can't see, so it looks like the ocean, actually.
I felt myself on the edge of the world,
Moon.
peering over the rim into a fathomless chaos of eternal night.
Ah, now I can see it. You know, one of the things I got most confused about when I was a child was, oh, the moon is always facing the same direction for us. And I was always like, oh, what do you mean? What do you mean the moon is always facing it? It doesn't turn, it doesn't spin on its own axis. No, it doesn't. If you didn't know that, now that's something else you need to you learn with me today. Gosh, English. Come on, work it out with me. It's been a long time since I spoke English for quite this bit, Platoon. I was in the middle of my exam month, so I didn't record or played anything. Yes, everything you're seeing is pre-recorded. Who would have guessed? Who would have guessed? But yeah, one side of the moon is heavier than the other side, so the moon doesn't spin. It spins around us, but not around herself.
Through my terror ran curious reminiscences of Paradise Lost,
What is Paradise Lost?
and of Satan's hideous climb through the unfashioned realms of darkness.
Okay.
As the moon climbed higher in the sky, I began to see that the slopes of the valley were not quite so perpendicular as I had imagined.
What do you mean? Sometimes I think HP, just wrote stuff.